All I'm saying, it's just not my cup of tea, and that's fine. The Phillies got it. They can trademark that play, and that's all good. They can have that one. There's a couple of plays that I feel strongly about that I'd like to trademark for us.
Okay, so Danny brought this up because I was accused of turning on Ben Johnson.
Not accused.
Just because he was asked about the Tush Push, and he said he was fond of explosive plays, and dismissed a play so efficient and effective that the league got together and tried to unsuccessfully ban it, which the Bears voted to ban. Now, the Lions didn't. The Lions were the one team that is on the schedule to play the Eagles that did not vote to ban the Tush Push, which I thought was brave and honorable.
Hold on. Can I ask this question real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Are you now claiming you didn't turn on Ben Johnson because of this? Because you obviously did. It's fine, but don't act like you're like people are saying. You loved Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
You loved his
Bravado.
crazy bravado and crazy
10
plays.
toes down, Wildes.
Right.
Yeah,
you thought he was the right hire for the Bears.
Yeah, perfect.
You had nothing negative to say about him. Since he gave that one quote, all you've done is poke at him.
Probably.
Was there something else that happened that we didn't know?
No, I just didn't like that quote.
Okay, yeah. So it's.
So you're now back to being a Ben Johnson guy?
Well, of course. I've always liked Ben Johnson. I just really disliked the quote.
But use Nick's phrase, the cut of his jib rubbed you the wrong way.
I hope
he
that
liked it.
No, but you thought he had a little, arrogance about him. Snarky.
I mean, a little bit, but I want him to succeed, obviously.
Wow.
But dissing the
I didn't
Tush
know.
Push and then voting against it?
But 21 other teams voted against it.
Yeah.
And I also think it's fair to say, I don't know that it is totally accurate to say they tried to outlaw it purely because it's so effective.
Why were they trying to outlaw it?
Because, well, Goodell's reasoning was because of the aesthetics of it. Well, they said safety, but also the aesthetics of it. I don't think it was just that it's so good. It was also that it is unlike any other play you see in the game, right? Like, it wasn't just that they're really good.
I disagree.
Like the Brady quarterback sneak was, as a percentage-wise, more effective than this. They never once tried to outlaw that because it was a regular football play, right?
I mean, maybe. I think it's odd that every team that is playing the Eagles voted to outlaw it, except one, and the teams that aren't playing the Eagles were like, yeah, you can keep it.
But that's.
I don't think it's an aesthetics thing.
Okay, but a lot of the teams
the
that
GMs are like, you know what? This is bad for ratings. They're trying to win games, and they'd rather Jalen Hurts not do it.
So a lot of teams that aren't playing the Eagles and are in the AFC voted to ban it as well.
They're wimps too.
Okay.
I don't know what you say. The Patriots didn't do it.
I think they feel like it's a cheat code, but it's only a cheat code for the Eagles.
Thank you. That leads us to the NFL 100. They ranked Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurts as the 19th best player in the league. He falls 4 spots from where he was last year, but the voting was done before the playoffs. Here are the QBs who have been revealed so far. Jaden, CJ, Big Show, Herbert, Stafford, Bo Nix, Jordan Love, Sam Darnold, Dak, and Tua. It's actually a pretty solid list. We're still expecting, obviously, the big 4, Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar, and Josh. And then you mentioned on the call, Jared Goff.
Yeah, Goff's going to be on there.
Yeah, so
I mean, I just think it'd be, especially if voting took place before the playoffs, he's not going to be outside of, I wouldn't have guessed he would be that high.
No, but
he's certainly not going to be outside the top 100.
So, Jalen, too high, too low, or just right?
I think, listen, I understand your frustration that it's odd that he dropped from last year. He's gone from 3 to 15 to 19 over the last 3 years. I think it is a testament to the respect he has that he stayed as high as he did since the voting took place before the postseason. When the voting was taking place and they, you know what I mean, his numbers were his numbers. The team right around the time of the vote was when A.J. Brown was like, we need to get better at passing. And this is why I feel like the Jalen Hurts is disrespected thing has become not a full straw man, but straw-ish. Here's the full list of guys who have been top 20 the last 3 years on this poll. That's where he lives. That's not disrespect. And by the way, that assumes all those guys are gonna be in this year.
Which
they will be. None of them won't be. Like
Even Lamar has.
No, Lamar, because Lamar 2 years ago, was coming off the injury year. Like, so I don't think that is. Honestly, I don't think he's necessarily in that neighborhood. I mean, that neighborhood is 6 surefire, no doubt Hall of Famers, and I don't think he's that yet. You know what I mean? Like I guess Justin Jefferson technically isn't that yet either, but he'd have to quit
pretty
football.
much will be.
Yeah. And so and so I think this is fine. Like I think this is the neighborhood that he lives in.
This will make him the 6th. Right now, they would have him as the 6th quarterback.
Assuming Goff's on that.
I don't have a problem with that ranking because, and I'm not trying to be funny, it's fluid in that area, right? But I do have a problem, and I understand if the vote was in December, I understand them having Goff ahead of him because Goff was lighting it up and all that stuff. Hadn't had the 3-interception playoff game yet. But I can't stomach him being behind Goff because Jalen is at his best on the biggest stage. At his best, right? He still plays well. He plays better than he does during the regular season in the Super Bowls. Obviously, Goff is kind of the opposite. He hadn't been bad in all his playoff games, but he doesn't rise to the occasion
Doesn't have
necessarily.
his best games, yeah.
Yeah, and last year, of course, they lose their first playoff game as the number 1 seed, and he throws 3 picks, 1 touchdown. So I think if Goff, and I would assume too, Nick, that he'll be on this list, I don't think he should be ahead of Jalen.
Yeah, well, based on, obviously, the vote came before this, but based on his accomplishment, what he was able to do last year and how they were able to finish the season, this is too low. I think a lot of it has to do with kind of like the Brock Purdy type feeling of having so much around him to where we undervalue to a degree the impact of Jalen Hurts. We know he's impactful. We know he's valuable. But when we look at him in comparison to a Patrick Mahomes, a Lamar Jackson, a Josh Allen, we see those guys, and if we
as
were
the driving force.
Absolutely. And I don't care how you look at the Eagles. You know how valuable Jalen Hurts is, but nobody just says, yeah, you take Jalen Hurts off that team, it's over.
Right.
You just don't have that sense. And I think that's why there's this feeling of disrespect. And I don't know if that's disrespectful to Jalen. It might feel like that, but I think it's just a respectful way of saying, you guys have a really good team, and this is where we got you.
Go, Wildes.
I think, unfortunately, and we get a lot of content out of this, and I understand that NFL players have a busy schedule. But doing this poll before the playoffs and then revealing it in late August is fundamentally flawed.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like we're living with it, and we get a lot of, and we appreciate all the work, but it's a little bit of like, best pumpkin patch. Hey, when'd you do the poll? April. Like, well, I don't know how were there pumpkins
it'd be
out
much
there?
different.
But here's just give us 30 seconds, Dust. Here's my question. If we assume he is behind those 5 guys, Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, Burrow,
and
Goff. If it were done right now, I think you would only move him up 1 spot.
I just want him in top 5.
Okay, so it's just the Goff, like, you know what I mean? Because you wouldn't you're fine with the other 4 being ahead of him.
Of course, yes.
But even the order of
guys
those
are minted.
Those order
change.
and by the
miniaturely fluid. Can I add one more thing?
I'm not.
Now the ESPN poll.
That's a projection.
Oh, so that one was the one that we just did. The NFL that was taken too early. This is for this upcoming year,
right?
And this one is weird.
This did take into account the Super Bowl, but we're expecting Jalen Hurts to regress a little bit because last year he was 32, 1 Super Bowl MVP. Now this year he's 38. I did think this was a little bit off, and I tweeted 1 more Super Bowl, he'll be in the 40s.
Unlike,
now,
don't you think that's understandable, though? They don't think the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl again.
But I understand, but He won the Super Bowl and he dropped because we did it before the playoffs. Then he won the Super Bowl, he dropped in this one because it's a projection.
Right.
I just want one to
Where
be
you're
like.
at.
Unlike your other Jalen Hurts tweet, that's a good one.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
I like that one.
All my Jalen Hurts
That was
tweets are good.
succinct. No, the one that you send out every time. We've argued about it a lot.
Oh, yeah?
On and off the air.
Well, I'm beloved in Philadelphia.
There you go. There you go.
Kansas City.
Yes.
If we have a Super Bowl rematch,
You know what? You should
I'll
have
just
time.
be beloved everywhere.
You should get some type of, like a Liberty Bell.
You know what? I was going to
tattoo.
get the Philly Fanatic on my tummy.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.